Hello everyone, it's Scott and welcome back to another episode of Agrarian Skies 2. So at the end of last episode, I finished off the beginning of the Cobble Generator. So I'm back to a clear task board. So what I'd like to do is finish up a couple of quests that have been sitting around for a while. Namely, this relaxing quest. So what I need to do is build a fishing rod and basically catch one fish to get quite a bit of raw salmon. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Okay, like that. Man. Q key on my keyboard. Son of a gun. Alright, so I've now lost all of my quest books. All I need is a book and a piece of string. Let's see if any of these books count. Materials and U. I still have 10 pieces of string. Well, oh, this was to make another unfired crucible. Let's see if I can. Nope. Alright, so I'm actually going to have to make a book. So, let's see. So in this one, alright, so traditional Minecraft requires a leather and some paper, but we can, in Tinkers Construct, we can use string, paper, and a blank pattern to make a book. Alright, let's get to work on that. So in order to make paper, I'm going to need to, well, I don't have sawdust, so, or letters, so I'm going to have to go down the route of sugar canes. Fortunately, I have some sand, so what I'm going to need to do is basically place it down and, well, that kind of screwed up what my plans were for the beginning of this episode. So let me start some sugarcane. Alright, so I'm going to need to place it over here. I guess the easiest way is for me to drop down, place the block underneath, come back up, and let's seal that in. Break you, and let's place down a piece of sand and go back and get my sugarcane seeds. So hopefully I'll be able to use the where did I put that bucket? I'm sorry, the watering can. Yep. Well, what I really wanted to do was, let's throw, so we're going to need some glass, I'll hold on to that. So let's go back here, take the sugarcane seeds, right click down, here, nope, okay, let's right click here, nope, alright, what do I need? Okay, that was the answer. I needed to put down a piece of dirt for the sugar cane. So I'm going to collect that back. Collect my dirt back. And replace that with a piece of sand. Sand is a lot more common right now. And it does just a good job of growing sugar cane as anything else does. So let's, I don't think that's actually going to grow, but I'm just going to have to wait that out. So one of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to get started on some of the agricraft tasks, and from what I recall, what I really want to do is build a seed analyzer. And so in order to do this, I'm going to need a piece of glass. I'm going to need some cobblestone slabs and some wood planks and so on and so forth. So let's make some quick slabs. Let's make some glass panes. Let's make sure that that's, yep, glass pane will work. One glass pane, actually 16. So I should have almost everything I need. I need some more sticks. And now I should have everything I need to make a seed analyzer. So let's throw that over here. And how does this work? So what I need to do is I need to take some seeds that I've been growing as part of AgriCraft. Let's break everything down. So I have a couple different, should have 4 different types of seeds now. So let's throw that into the analyzer. Okay, all 4 of these are growth 1, strength 1 seeds. So let's throw them down. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And we'll make the crop bridge here, which means I'm going to need a couple more sticks to make the crops. To make a crop bridge. Okay. Let's put one there, and we just have to let this grow. Okay, I'm kind of in a pattern now where I have successfully bred some level 2 seeds. And let me show you how I'm doing this. So first thing I do is I throw down 2 crops, so it looks like a T pattern, which are between 2 other crops. And so what I'm doing is I'm using the water can, then going back over to the seed analyzer and throwing it in. It very quickly says, okay, this is a growth 2, strength 2. I'm already beyond that with the growth 3, strength, I got one of those already, so throw that down. And so it looks like it just, oops, weeds. Be very careful with weeds. I accidentally lost a whole crop here where weeds will spread side if they're not plucked like immediately, and so they'll actually just completely obliterate your other crops. So I was hoping to get a weeds. Great. I was hoping to get a live example here. So let's grab that. Let's throw those seeds in the analyzer. Unidentified. So we're still with the growth 2, level 2. So anyway, hopefully that shows how we're able to crossbreed the seeds and bring them up from at least the level 1 to level 2. So what I have to do is grow level 2s and the level 3s, and so this will progress all the way up to level 10. Likewise, I have some carrots and some potatoes. So as soon as I have more, dirt, then I'll be able to advance with this. So what I'm hoping to do to polish off the end of this episode is, or at least by the end of the episode, is I want to get some automation up and running. So right now I have some essentially 2 buckets worth of lava. I've been grinding down material out here at the Cobble Generator. And alright, so finally I have auto repair. Nice. So the patch of moss is pretty cool. It's a Tinkers Construct bonus on an item that basically gives it a healing ability. Alright, so we're up to 2 sugarcane. So let's work on expanding the sugarcane network. Okay. So I still need to work up to that 3 pieces of sugarcane, so that way I can create a book. But from what I wanted to do, the next piece is I'd like to get going on trying to form a smeltery. So for those that have not done this before, Tinkers Construct, the Tinkers Construct Smeltery is a way of melting down ores in a essentially is a multi-block furnace, and it needs to be made out of special material that is basically formed from grout. And the seared brick is kind of a base unit for all of the smeltery pieces, and the grout is a combination of clay, sand, and gravel. So that's not hard to do now that I have a cobble generator. But I was thinking that this layout is not as efficient as it could be. So what I'd like to do is work on some simple automation, something I did in the other. Oh, I can't do that yet then. So what always bugs me about cobblestone generators is that essentially the big problem is that so much of the material ends up being lost inside the lava. So what I'd like to do is create a piston system that's going to help to push the cobble away from the lava. So what we can do is we can combine the material here. I ground down enough ore in the sifter and combined it to make that iron dust, which as I just demonstrated can be melted down in a furnace. And what I'd like to do, and it figures, so this is just a vanilla Minecraft piston, and so I'd like to combine that with a lever. And so what I'd like to do is come up with a pusher that will essentially move the let's push that over there, and from this angle I'm going to place the piston, and I'm going to put a lever right here. So when I flick the lever, it's going to push the cobble out to the right, and eventually I'll be able to automate this as soon as I get one more piece of redstone. My favorite modded device is the redstone clock. So the redstone clock is essentially a well, like it said, so instead of creating a normal loop with repeaters, you usually need like about 6 or so redstone repeaters in a closed loop in order to create a repeating circuit. The redstone clock will do the same thing in a single block, and all it needs is 4 redstone and a redstone torch, and it's an extremely handy block for simple automation, especially related to cobble generation and smelting. So, and so one of the benefits here is that I'm also able to put cobble over here next to the water barrels. I didn't exactly think of that, but that's a good byproduct. So there is no vein miner here, so I can't do the trick I did in Sky Factory where I pushed out a stream of cobble and then holding down the vein miner converted it to an entire cobble or gravel stack in one push. But what I'd like to do I don't think this actually works. So what I'd like to do is work my way up. I'm going to have to grind down quite a lot of gravel in order to make the grout. I'm probably going to need about 16 pieces of grout, I believe, which I'm going to need essentially a full stack, 64. Oh good, this does work. Okay. So I'm going to need to make quite a lot of seared brick. So I'm going to take a cut here and get my quest book back now that I'm growing the sugar cane, and I'll make some grout and some seared brick, and I'll be right back. Okay, I finally got to the point where I have enough to make a stack of grout. So here's 64 grout. I'm going to load that up into the furnace and just let that burn down. So while that's going, I want to investigate a block I was reading about called a miner. And so here we're going to need a stone furnace and a stone pickaxe. So I think I should have enough to make all those pieces. So let's whip up a pickaxe quick. Here we go. And with a furnace and 8 pieces of stone, or 7 pieces of stone, I can make a stone miner. So let's see what this block is able to do. So let me put it over here next to the Cobble Generator. So let's mine add tools. So if I throw in a miner, what is this able to do? Okay, it looks like it burns stuff down. So range 1. Let me quick get some more charcoal. I might have to move all this stuff closer to the... Oh, not ready, need fuel. Let's add fuel. Not ready, need cobble. Not ready, need a shovel. Man, this is complicated. Okay. Go back and get a shovel. Cobblestone slab. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. So I'm going to need to do a little bit of research on this block. before I continue. So let's gather my stuff back out and just hold on to it for now. Okay, so what I think I'd like to do is prepare for a smeltery, let's say about here. So the base size smeltery, I was reading, can be a 2x2, and so let's set up a very small profile smeltery right here. So we'll do seared bricks. We'll need some on top. And let me go back and check on the progress of the furnace. Alright, I'm back, and I had a bit of a recording glitch. I ended up running out of space on my solid state disk, and so I'm just going to do a quick recap of what I've done recently. So what I ended up doing was adding a fishing pool behind the base. I converted the I needed more string, so I used some more silkworms on the tree farm. I added a chopper, and I'll explain that in next episode. I tried to figure out if I can make some mossy cobblestone by setting up stone brick underneath a water barrel, and I'm going to check on that. I think it just needs more time. I finished the smeltery, or at least the beginning smeltery, so I'm going to have to walk through how that works again. I added a transfer node to the Cobble Generator and upgraded the farming area by adding a sandy area that I can produce sugarcane. And so I was able to do that by grinding down the cobble here. So what I had done was I had placed a redstone clock block on top of the piston, which basically turns this entire area into a self-repeating stream of cobble. And so that was enough to get me the blocks that I needed to basically go to town and produce all the sand and gravel and everything that I needed to finish the smeltery. So the smeltery works by, as I'd shown before, I take grout and basically use it to produce, let's see, seared brick. So this is okay, so here's the right seared brick. So grout becomes seared brick, and seared brick can be combined in a chest-like pattern to produce a smeltery controller, or in a vertical way to produce a drain. A table produces a casting table, and surrounding a piece of glass produces a seared tank. And so we need the seared tank to act as fuel to hold lava that's going to be the fuel for the smeltery itself. So what I ended up doing was burning down one of the aluminum bars that were given as a quest goal, and right-clicking on the faucet produces a cast around a brick object. And so from this point forward, anytime that I burn ore down in the smeltery, it's going to allow me to directly pour that in and produce ingots. And so from that, I was able to build a transfer node and add a world interaction upgrade. So I had lapis already from the sifting, and so I burned down 8 pieces of or 4 ore to produce 8 pieces of iron. And then that allowed me to build this world interaction upgrade, which takes an iron pickaxe and 4 pieces of iron. And what this does is when it's placed inside a transfer node, it allows the transfer node to interact with source blocks like a Cobble Gen when it's next to a water and lava block, or it actually allows a liquid transfer node to tap water and from a water source block and pipe water around through fluid ducts. And so from there, I've now been able to automatically extract cobble into this better barrel, and I have 12 stacks already, so that ends the need to keep mining with this flint pickaxe. So with that, I'm going to call it an episode. So if you could, please leave a comment or a like. Hopefully next episode I can end with actually more action. And but for now, I think I'm going to just spend time upgrading the smeltery and checking in on the quest book and figuring out what do I need to do next to progress. So with that, I will see you next time on Agrarian Skies 2. Bye.